Welcome to our next lab for the DP600 course, Create and Use Data Flows Gen 2 in Microsoft Fabric. This lab will take approximately 30 minutes if you're unfamiliar with Microsoft Fabric, but since I'm a bit familiar, it'll take us less than 30 minutes. The first task we have is to create a workspace. To create a workspace, we're going to navigate to the workspace section here and click on New Workspaces. We're going to name this workspace DP600 Lab 2. And we're going to go to the advanced section to make sure we have the correct license enabled. It should be either the trial or the premium capacity or the fabric capacity license, and hit apply. Once you have your workspace created, we're going to next task is going to be to create a lakehouse. So we're going to click on that plus new item and scroll down to the store data section. You can see here I'm in store data section and create a lakehouse. We're going to name the lakehouse similar to the workspace we have created, which is DP600 Lab 2. This takes a minute or so, and then we have a new empty lakehouse. There you go. And then we navigate back to our workspace and we're going to create a Dataflow Gen 2 to ingest data into our lakehouse. For that, we're going to scroll down to the Get Data section and we're going to select the Dataflow Gen 2, not the Dataflow Gen 1, but the Dataflow Gen 2. The Dataflow Gen 2 gives us a manner of creating an ETL process where we extract data from a source, we transform it, and then we load it to a destination. So the first task in this data flow is to get the data, and we're going to import the data from a text or CSV file from an online link. We have some orders data. So just going to copy that link from there and I'm going to paste it in this file path. You can edit the connection, make sure that you have all the settings set up according to the instructions, and click on Next. There you go. Now we can see a little bit of a preview of the data, and as soon as you have ensured that all the data looks fine, we can create our data source. There you go. We have our data source right in the middle with a little bit of a preview. We have the query pane on the left. We can collapse that, and we have the query settings pane on the right. We're not going to be collapsing that yet. Once we have imported our data, we're then going to go and create a new column. We're going to do that by going to the Add Column tab. You can see Add Column tab and then select the Custom Column option. The first option here is Column from Examples. The second one is a custom column. And here we're going to create a new custom column called Month Number, data type to be whole number. And we're going to use a formula here to extract the month number from our order date. So I'm just going to insert this order date column inside my order date function. And you can see it's the same function I have from my instructions here. I'm going to click OK. And there you go. We have extracted the month from our date. All right. Once we have done this transformation, we're just going to add a data destination for the data flow. In order to do that, we're going to navigate back to the Home tab. And here you can see this is the button for the data destination. We're going to add a data destination. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to View More, and we're going to add a data destination to our lakehouse. So here, if you edit this connection, you can see we are going to be adding a lakehouse, which is using the same organizational account that I have. And we're going to click Next. And then it should give us a list of all the lakehouses I have access to. Now, the lakehouse that I'm interested in is in the workspace called DP600 Lab 2. And this is the name of that lakehouse. So I will select that lakehouse. And I'm going to click on Choose. And actually skip binding, and there you go. We have set up our data destination. So it's not appearing down here below, but since we cannot add it anymore, we can only remove our data destination, means we have successfully added our data destination. All right, another thing we can do here is take a look at the diagram view. So this diagram view is interesting when you have multiple sources, multiple tables, and you're doing multiple merges and things like that. Once we're done with our data flow, we're going to publish our data flow. There you go. And you can see it's right now, it is saving our data flow. It will get published only once it's finished saving, and you will see this little round icon move to right beside the refreshed date. Once that happens, once you see that round icon move here along with the refreshed date, that's when your data flow will start executing. All right. Then in the meantime, let's go and add this data flow to, there you go. You can see now the round icon is right here. So it's because it's finished saving our data flow and now it's executing it. All right, let's create a new item where we're going to then automate the execution of this data flow. We're going to do that with a data pipeline also in the get data section. And we're going to name this pipeline load data. All right. So I have the data here, and then I'm going to add a data flow activity. So you can see a couple of activities show up here. I'm just going to add that data flow activity, and I'm going to click on that data flow activity so that the settings of that data flow activity get selected in my settings below. And in the settings, I'm going to select that data flow which we have created. And that's it. With that, I can um, run this data flow, for example. So let's run it. Let's save and run this data flow. And once this data flow has finished running and executing, we will see data in the orders table inside our lakehouse. Because when we created the lakehouse, it was empty. So there are no tables in there. And after the lakehouse has finished executing, it should, I'm sorry, after the data flow has finished executing, it should have data in your orders table inside the lakehouse. And with that, we have come to the end of this lab. Thank you for watching.